LSU 2 losses, Alabama 2 losses. Like you said, no margin for error for either program. Both can still make the college football playoff. I mean, technically the SEC championship game could be in play, especially for LSU, since one of those losses was out of conference. Alabama going to come to Death Valley. Most likely going to be a night game. Maybe you can fill us in on that. But, what are you thinking right now about the trajectory of Alabama following the Georgia game? Certainly they seem gettable. What are the keys to victory for that first year post-Saban,
Conan, have you seen anything I've done on,
we watch
YouTube over the last
every
10
time
months?
Bama loses, I go look exactly what you
I've seen a little bit.
Yeah.
Suffice to say, I am giddy with how this season has gone in Tuscaloosa. My entire premise, and I know I've done, for those who haven't seen it, I've done this bit for 10 months called Bama is Burning. And anytime there's any type of misfortune, I play O Fortuna, put flames on the screen and just revel in their misery. But the sensible point has been, you don't lose the greatest coach ever and not miss a beat. You don't turn over half your roster year to year and not miss a beat. Mm-hmm. Bama's still going to be good. They're still going to win games. They're still going to be really competitive. I've never said they wouldn't be that. They're just not going to be the unstoppable force they were. So I'm not surprised at all, Cone. I've never been a believer in Jalen Milroe. I think he's a phenomenal athlete. We've seen great athletes that play the quarterback position in college and do so effectively. I mean, Tim Tebow is the greatest college football player I ever saw. He wasn't a great quarterback. I think that's what you got here with Milroe. And it's been, I think over the last month, what you've seen teams do is say, you know what? We're just going to crowd the line. We're going to make sure you don't run for $140, and we're going to make you throw. And we don't think you can. And time and again, he's proven he can't because he's not an accurate thrower. So I think it kind of plays maybe into LSU's hands a little bit a week from Saturday. But no, I'm not surprised by what's happened in Tuscaloosa at all. I mean, shoot, guys, they should have lost to South Carolina. I mean, that was a gross level of incompetence, especially at the end of the first half by Kalen DeBoer and his staff to even allow Carolina the opportunity for the safety and the field goal before half. I mean, it's a different reality there. And I think everything I've said for 10 months is starting to resonate with a lot of people in Alabama as they know I'm right.
You're right about a lot of the Jalen Milroe take there. What's interesting is he throws the deep ball really well.
See, Cone, I don't believe he does, man.
Yeah.
Listen, here's the thing, and I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
When you have Ryan Williams, look at the play against Georgia. On the stat sheet, that's a 75-yard touchdown.
And it wasn't a great throw. Yeah.
It was an underthrown ball where a freak show kid made an acrobatic catch and a pirouette and ran.
Maybe part of it is he appears to throw the deep ball better because
you'd rather underthrow a deep ball than overthrow.
But hold on, I haven't even gotten to the heart of the point, though, which is Garrett. No. I want to break this down, but on the flip side of that, Garrett Nussmeier I've seen make many NFL throws, and then he will turn the football over as well. So what I'm saying is there necessarily a trust factor where you trust Garrett Nussmeier and LSU more right now than Jalen Milroe, even though it was those Nussmeier interceptions really that I think cost you guys against Texas A&M?
Yeah, and the strange thing, and I know maybe a couple weeks ago, Jake, your comments about Nuss and the comment we had, the combo we had for the season, that got a lot of run around LSU circles. And the thing is, that was the big question for Nuss coming into the season. Could he protect the ball? And by and large, guys, this year he's done that. He had a couple of lazy ones against South Alabama when they were up big. One of them, the one against USC, it was a desperation heave interception at the end of the game. But really, he's been good, man, until that final quarter and a half against A&M where all the things that you feared kind of popped up, just trying to do too much. And, Brian Kelly's even said, Cone, you could probably appreciate this. He said, look, a big part of that is Garrett feels like he's got to stand on his head every play because he can't run the ball.
That's
when you have no rushing offense.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And you feel like you got to make a play every time. Maybe you're taking some chances that you otherwise wouldn't. So, I mean, guys, they got to figure out a way to run the ball. You're 8 games in, you are what you are. They're not going to be a great rushing offense. They're 111th in the country in rush offense, which is so weird to say about LSU. But, I mean, let that resonate.
Yeah.
But they got to find a way to at least be competent, to at least complement what they're doing in the passing game.
I do, Blaine, I know you want to ask about something and ask from the chat, but I want to stay on this point because coming into the year, and I've said this the last, probably 3 to 4 weeks, I have 2 units that I've been incredibly disappointed with their offensive line play. And not that LSU's bad in pass pro. It's a lot of it's, the run game, and that does affect your pass protection because you get in passing downs, is LSU and Ole Miss. because of the expectation we had coming into the year. I mean, Matt, even us on this show, we're like, look, Will Campbell for the USC games, like we're not going out there to go to Caesars. We're going to go in there and bash your head in. You look at him and Emory and what you guys had in the middle. You're like, this is what's going to help Garrett get used to this. Like, this is what's going to help this LSU offense and maybe even the defense get some confidence, because the offense, while it may not be as good as the year before with Jaden, and it shouldn't be, is going to still be really good. But I can't believe we're to the point of the year, and we're sitting here the week before Alabama plays LSU, and we're saying, well, LSU's defense, right, is going up against an Alabama rushing attack, and we actually have some confidence in LSU's defense being able to slow down the run, but yet we don't have confidence in LSU's offense to be able to run the ball. Because, dude, I think Durham's a good back.
Yeah, he is.
I think, and you got a good tight end in Mason
Catches
Taylor.
out of the backfield, too.
So as much as we've talked about Garrett Nussmeier and the turnovers, he really is having to do everything, and that's another reason why I said that against A&M. But really quickly, I do want to go back to what you said about Jalen Milroe being his best ball is his deep ball. I think you don't look at it as Jalen Milroe has an elite deep ball. But if I'm grading Jalen Milroe on what he does best as a passer, even if he's an average passer, his deep ball is probably the thing that he's the best. He's an outfielder to me. That's what he is. Now, I think that's the Georgia game kind of changed some people's minds because he was really good in the intermediate and they were killing him. But he hasn't been able to consistently do that, whether it's digs, right, whether it's overs or anything like that. If he could come together. But just when you look at the matchup with defensively, with Alabama shutting out Missouri, and I know Missouri isn't a fantastic football team, and they were beat up. In Death Valley, if you had to take LSU's offense or Alabama's offense, which one do you think has the most success that night in that place?
I would take LSU's offense. I don't necessarily mean I think they're going to win the game, but I think LSU got the better quarterback, and especially the venue. I mean, guys, like if this were being played in Tuscaloosa, I'd probably have a very different feeling.
For sure.
But, I mean, golly, we saw it with LSU against Ole Miss, where Ole Miss was a better team, man. The venue ate them up. I mean, they missed a 32-yard field goal. Trey Harris dropped a walk-in 81-yard touchdown. And they got the ball at the LSU 13, Ole Miss did, and got no points out of it. They failed to convert a 4th and 1. Flip side of it is look at what just happened to LSU in College Station, 108,000 people. And I mean, the second you left that door open for them, man, they kicked it through. Yeah. So, yeah, man, I like LSU's offense because I like LSU's receivers and quarterback. And I don't think Alabama's got enough guys on the back end to stop LSU's receivers. And I don't see Dallas Turner coming anywhere. I mean, I don't see that Alabama front terrorizing. I mean, as much as LSU's offensive line has struggled, guys, they've been exceptional in pass protection. I mean, before Saturday, they allowed 2 sacks all season. And the 2 they allowed Saturday were when LSU was in desperation mode and A&M was just pinning their ears back and coming. Yeah. So you keep Nussmeier upright and you let him sling it to those receivers. I mean, there's a reason they are where they are, man, and it's him.
Yeah. And I'll say to the LSU fans that are worried that you couldn't stop a mobile quarterback in Marcel Reed, you did it literally the week before at Arkansas against a quarterback that's a problem. So the consistency level, that's got to get
ready
fixed.
for Reed. I don't think.
That's true. It kind of came out of left field. Hey, YouTube, what's up? Appreciate you being here. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. It's the American thing to do.